Well then, gentlemen, come online. Don't tell me you are getting back into challenges. How do you know it's a challenge? It's Atsumu creating a group chat. Of course it's a challenge. Well, I don't agree with your tone. Yes, it's a challenge time again. Oh no. Why do I have a bad feeling from this already? Because it's Atsumu. Hey. No, he's right. It's the exact same with Toru. Please no more asking about dying challenge or something like that. I can't do it anymore. That sounds harsh. Wait, that was a challenge too? Yeah, Lev didn't tell you. No! I'll strangle him for that. I was so scared. Well then hurry up before the stalker gets one of you first. Ouch. Iwaizumi-san, I think that was a bit much. No, he's right. I should focus on more important things. Good. Alright then, now that we are all caught up on everyone's situation, can we go back to the current challenge? There's no challenge yet. Yeah, no one said they are participating. Well, tough luck, because you will participate. All of you, no exceptions. You can't force us. Yes, I can. Now, your challenge is going to be to flinch away from your partner's touch. Flinch when they make a quick movement, etc. The more causes you can find, the better. What kind of challenge is that? So you basically want us to make our partners either worried or feel guilty? Yep. Okay, no, I'm not doing that. Ken will freak out. Kanji too. What he said. I don't want Yuji to worry about this on top of everything. Hey, did you forget what I said? Everyone will participate. I won't accept any excuses. Why am I getting a feeling you just want to punish Sakusa for something stupid and drag us along just so you don't feel so bad about it? Shut up. You know, now that you said it, it actually makes a lot of sense. A reason more to teach this while we can. Are you seriously so scared? Come on, it's going to be interesting. We are planning a wedding, for fuck's sake. I'm not going to ruin it just because you argued with your boyfriend. It's not that bad to ruin a wedding. It's just a one-time thing. And it's not like you'll be hurting them. Speak for yourself. I'll definitely hurt Haya if I do this. You are exaggerating. Okay, enough chatting. Go on with the challenge. Everyone. This guy. It's going to be easier to just go along with it, trust me. Don't overdo it and it will be fine. Hopefully. This is going to be so bad. Well, good luck to all, I guess. Yeah, we'll need it. This was a bad idea. No, scratch that. It was absolutely horrible idea. Especially given the events of the last year. Yahaba was never so sure that something was going to end in a disaster as right now. He hated the prospect of worrying Kyotani for no reason after everything his fiancée did for him. It was unfair and hurtful. But not doing anything meant he was going to have Atsumu on his back, which would definitely not be pleasant either. He smacked a pillow over his face and let out a frustrated groan. Stupid challenges and everything that comes with it. He bit his lip when he heard the keys rattling in the lock, soon followed by tapping of claws on the wooden floor and an excited huff, letting him know Kyotani was home. Ever so slowly, he unwrapped himself from the blanket and waddled towards the hallway, stifling a smile when he heard Kyotani greeting Bruno. The two really became quite inseparable since they got the pup. Sighing, he stopped by the kitchen as if he was hesitating and waited for Kyotani to come inside. He hated the fact he was possibly about to ruin their evening together, but the sooner it was off the table, the sooner they could go living their normal life. It will be fine. I'll stop it as soon as... Shige! Guess what? Yahaba flinched for real when Kyotani's strong voice boomed through the house, echoing from the walls. Jeez, why so loud? Hi, welcome home. Kyotani paused in the doorway, his eyebrows knitting together instantly. What's wrong? Yahaba had to admire Kyotane's ability to sense out changes in his behavior. Even the tiniest change in his tone didn't go unnoticed, and Yahaba once again realized how incredibly lucky he got in his life. Still, he forced a smile and clenched the hem of his t-shirt. Nothing? Why would you ask? You are acting strange. Did something happen? No, of course not. Nothing happened. The confusion and concern seeping from Kyotane was almost tangible. He set down his bag and walked closer to Yahaba, his brows furrowing even more when Yahaba took a quick step back. Yahaba bit his lip and let out a strangled chuckle, forcing his hand to let go of the t-shirt. What did you want to tell me? That's not important right now. Shige, if something happened, you have to tell me. Nothing happened, I swear. I just... Are you hungry? I made some curry. Or if you are tired, you can... He startled when Kyotane grabbed his wrist before he could walk away, a hitched yelp leaving his mouth on instinct despite Kyotane's grip being as light as it could get. The hand holding him disappeared immediately, and Yahaba's heartbeat sped up. Sorry that... I didn't... He fell silent, unsure what to say. He avoided Kyotane's gaze and brought the hand to his chest, squeezing his wrist as if he was actually hurt, memories he so desperately wished to forget flooding his mind. He took a shattered breath, his chest and throat constricting. Sorry. His mind raced, trying to figure out what to do next. He was supposed to just pretend, but the longer he felt Kyotane watching him, the more he was panicking for real. He tried to suppress the flinch running through his body when Kyotane lightly touched his shoulder, but judging by how quickly Kyotane withdrew his hand, he didn't do a good job. Shige. Yahaba squeezed his eyes shut, feeling slightly nauseous both from his racing heart and the pain in Kyotane's voice. Sorry, This wasn't supposed to happen. What wasn't? Shige, please talk to me. Did something happen to you at work? Or here? Please, I just want to help. You haven't been this jumpy since... He fell silent abruptly, his whole body tensing. Did someone hurt you again? Moving on pure instinct, Yahaba shook his head vehemently and threw his arms around Kyotane, clutching to his jacket as if his life depended on it, tears stinging in his eyes. Why couldn't he just forget? It had been so long, and yet all it took was one touch for everything to come rushing back into his mind. All the memories and fright of that night and the dark alley returning him into that moment of horror. Why couldn't he forget? He shivered when Kyotane hugged him back, the familiar calming warmth immediately chasing away the slowly creeping cold from his soul. Who was it, love? No one, I swear. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be a challenge, but then it came back and... Shh, it's okay. You are safe, I promise. I'm sorry. Don't be, it's not your fault. But if I didn't start the challenge, maybe it wouldn't. Kyotane pulled away a bit, only enough to comfortably cup Yahaba's face. Still not your fault. You couldn't know it would come back. He gently wiped away the tears from Yahaba's cheeks, giving him a tender smile. I'm just glad no one hurt you again. We can work with nasty memories, right? Yeah. Okay, now take a deep breath and count. Ready? Just focus on being here, at home. I'm with you. I promise you are safe. Yahaba nodded and followed Kyotane's breathing. They slowly went through the whole calming exercise Yahaba's therapist showed them, while Bruno dutifully sat next to them, close enough for Yahaba to comfortably run his fingers through his fur. By the end, Yahaba sagged into Kyotane's arms, the mental exhaustion settling in his bones. Kyotane didn't let go of him, keeping him grounded by rubbing small patterns into his back and sides. Better? Yahaba nodded, unable to find the strength to speak. But Kyotani didn't seem to mind, judging by the soft kiss landing on his temple. Okay, all's good now, I promise. And Yahaba trusted him in that. This was going to end badly, Semi was sure of it. They had been on thin ice with Shirabu already because of the previous challenge he did, and this definitely wasn't going to help. And after watching Shirabu in the last few days, he was more than just a little worried it could crack Shirabu's fragile state even more. They still hadn't talked properly about everything, both of them keeping a slight distance to keep peace, but it couldn't go like that forever. They both knew that. And Semi hated the idea he could ruin the chances of them finally talking openly with the challenge. I'm just not going to do it. Fuck Atsumu, he has no idea what it feels to be in a limbo like this. He startled himself with how hard he threw the spoon into the sink, for a moment worried he might have broken the bowl already in it. But judging by the soft hitched breath from behind his back, he wasn't the only one who got startled. Is everything okay? Semi forced his face to relax, refusing to make Shirabu think he was angry at him. It was enough that Shirabu, his own boyfriend, suddenly started asking him if he could even sit next to him. It always broke Semi's heart to hear the uncertainty in Shirabu's voice, and this time was no exception. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to smash it like this. Are you angry because of something? Semi sighed. So much for not making Shirabu overthink. He turned around to face his boyfriend, taking note of his widened eyes and cautious posture, neither of which was supposed to be there when it was just the two of them. A little bit, but it has nothing to do with you, I promise. Or, well, I guess I'm getting mad on your behalf. Shirabu blinked a few times in surprise, his lips parting a bit before he caught himself. Oh, is that so? Did something happen? Not really, just one idiot happened. But it's okay, no need to worry about it. Did you want something? He didn't miss the little flinch in Shirabu's face before he looked away, the sight sending a sharp sting through his chest. He wished he could just squeeze Shirabu in his arms as firmly as he could and not let go, but the worry about Shirabu's comfort stopped him in his tracks. In a situation like this, it was better to wait for Shirabu to make the first step. I was thinking, can we talk? About what you asked before and everything. Please. This was it then. Semi nodded, torn between relief and panic. He instinctively reached for Shirabu's hand, his heart breaking when Shirabu flinched under his touch as if he expected pain. It was just a brief moment, but it was more than enough for the guilt to hit him like a truck. This was what his question caused. Of course we can, whenever you are ready. I'll listen. No, I should be the one listening. I'm the problem here, not you. I'll do everything you say, just tell me and... Semi was moving before he could even think about it, pulling him as close as humanly possible, the crevice in his heart widening even more upon feeling the despair in the way Shirabu clung to him. Shh, it's okay. We'll talk this out, don't worry. It's going to be fine. How can it be fine when we don't agree on something so important? I'm sorry, Eita. I swear I'll give it a try. I'll get used to anything, just... His breath hitched, words tore apart by a quiet sob. Semi tightened his embrace, his hand subconsciously finding its way to pet Shirabu's hair. You don't have to get used to anything. I'm not going to push through your discomfort and risk losing you in the process. But you want kids. You want a big family. I already have a family. I have you. That's what matters. He pulled away a bit, just enough to wipe the tears from Shirabu's lashes and to cradle his face in his palms. I can always just wait for my sister to have children. but it's not the same. Maybe, but if I was about to choose between you and a future family, I would always choose you. I can manage living my life without having kids since they don't exist yet. But you are here, with me, right now. It would be miserable to live without you. Shirabu's lower lip quivered. He hid his face in Semi's shoulder, clutching the back of his t-shirt in his hands. I don't want you to be unhappy because of me. I'm not, and I highly doubt I will ever be. Besides, there is enough time. Who knows, maybe you'll see it differently in 10 or 15 years. He left a light kiss in Shirabu's hair. But even if not, it's fine. It's not a deal breaker for me. So, as long as you are happy, I am too. A broken sob escaped Shirabu's mouth as he almost crumbled in Semi's arms. Semi held him tight, finding his own comfort in the first proper hug they had since he asked about kids, and continued to rub his back to hopefully soothe his beloved's mind. But under all the different emotions, he felt relief. Now that the walls were raised, they could finally talk everything through, just like they always did. Let's talk about everything tomorrow, what do you think? So we both have clear head for it. Shirabu nodded weakly against his shoulder, his grip on him not loosening even a tiny bit. Okay. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's going to be fine. You'll see. While the others were surely facing their own struggles with the challenge, Iwaizumi was currently dealing with a slightly different problem than just making Oikawa worried. And that was making his flinching act believable. He couldn't remember a single instance in the last few years when he would actually flinch from under someone's touch, and now he wasn't sure how to act. And on top of that, his acting abilities were horrible to begin with. There was no way someone like Oikawa would believe it. Maybe for the better. He's getting a bit too anxious lately, so better not add to it. Thinking of Oikawa getting anxious, Iwaizumi couldn't stop the frown from forming on his face. He wasn't sure if it was the stress connected to the upcoming Nations League, something about the San Juan team, or something utterly different, but there were instances when he was sure Oikawa was going to either collapse or lash out. Neither of that happened so far, but that didn't mean Iwaizumi wasn't on alert, watching for potential signs of incoming disaster. Not that he would feel personally attacked if Oikawa really snapped at him, but it was always better to avoid it since his fiancée tended to feel overly guilty afterwards. Which meant more work for him. If he at least told me what's wrong. He's so stubborn sometimes. Sighing, he returned to his daily garden workout, a quiet hiss leaving his mouth when his back muscles flexed. He would gladly say his body fully recovered from the tumble down the cliffside, but there were instances when his back still protested against certain exercises. It was annoying, but there wasn't much he could do about it besides strengthening the muscles around his spine for better support. However, it didn't take long before his workout got interrupted again, this time by a loud bang of the front door being slammed close. He paused and furrowed his brow, only faintly seeing the silhouette of his fiancée through the garden door stomping across the living room and out of his sight. Toru? No response other than more muffled banging from the inside. You okay? When, once again, he got no verbal response, he set down the weights and headed inside to check if everything was alright. It didn't take him long to find Oikawa, now angrily throwing stuff out of his sports bag on the ground. He was silent, but Iwaizumi didn't miss the tension gathered in his posture, nor his jerky movements. Toru. Gritting his teeth, Oikawa flung the bag on the floor to do other things before throwing a scorching glare at Iwaizumi. What? Iwaizumi flinched, not necessarily because he was startled, but rather because of the sharp snap of Oikawa's voice. I asked if you are okay. What do you think? Do I look okay? Not really. Then don't ask. Iwaizumi had to hold back not to roll his eyes, knowing he would just unnecessarily agitate Oikawa further. Did something happen? No, I'm just pissed because it's fun. Come on, I'm trying to help. Oikawa's face scrunched with emotions Iwaizumi had never seen before. If he didn't know him better than anyone, he would have to admit Oikawa was terrifying. I didn't ask for that, did I? But you always have to stick your nose into things. Leave me alone. With that, he crossed the room in 3 quick steps and slammed the door into Iwaizumi's face. This time, Iwaizumi didn't stop himself from rolling his eyes. He sighed and shrugged, deciding to better give Oikawa some space for now. Fine, as you wish. It wasn't the outburst that bothered him on the whole situation, since he was sure it wasn't because of anything that happened between them, but rather him not knowing what caused it. It was very different from when Oikawa was mad at him before, therefore there was no need to take his words too hard. But he really didn't like seeing Oikawa stressed to the point of snapping. He returned to his little makeshift gym on their garden, soon finishing his workout and allowing himself to just walk around the garden and check how well the different vegetables and fruits they planted earlier that year were growing. Seems like we'll have a bountiful harvest this year. He didn't let it show on him that he heard the garden door opening behind him and the soft footsteps coming to him over the grass before they stopped a few steps behind him. Hajime? It almost physically hurt him hearing the broken undertone in Oikawa's voice. Yet, the moment he felt Oikawa touching his shoulder, he stepped aside to move away from his reach. Then once again, after which Oikawa seemed to get the memo, judging by the barely hearable hitch in his breath. Are you done? Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. Sure. He left the strawberry plants alone and turned to head back to the patio. Hajime. Knowing Oikawa was about to catch his hand, Iwaizumi moved his arm away, making him grab just empty air. Was he guilt-tripping his own fiancée? Yes, but he hoped it could push Oikawa to tell him what was wrong. The end justifies the means and all that. Wait, please. Let's talk. Iwaizumi stopped and turned around, barely resisting the urge to rush to Oikawa and hug him when he saw his broken expression. I wanted to talk. You shut me down. I know, I'm sorry. There is just so much stuff happening now, and I don't know what to do first. Then why don't you let me help you? Oikawa's shoulders slumped. I know, it feels so wrong to throw everything at you when it's supposed to be my problem. But I really didn't mean to yell at you. Please trust me. I don't know what gotten into me. I'm sorry. Sighing, Iwaizumi crossed the distance between them and pulled Oikawa into a hug, his heart aching upon feeling how much Oikawa slumped against him with the contact. You are such an idiot sometimes, you know that? Yeah, I know. Sorry. I'll forgive you if you tell me what's going on. I hate seeing you stressed like this. He felt Oikawa nodding against his shoulder. I will. Just give me a bit. Please. Sure. Let's talk after dinner, Okay. Yeah, sounds good.